The parable of the precious pearl. Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 45 and 46. Still more like the kingdom of heaven is the merchant seeking good pearls, who, when he found one precious pearl, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Explanation of the parable. The parable of the precious pearl is one of the short but deeply meaningful parables of Jesus Christ. Its meaning is that the kingdom of heaven has such a high value that it is worth forsaking all earthly goods and devoting oneself to spiritual pursuit. The merchant symbolizes a person seeking the meaning of life, truth, or God. Pearl is the kingdom of God, truth, faith, or the way to salvation. The sale of all possessions is a willingness to give up material goods, comfort, habitual values for the sake of spiritual insight and a new life. The main message of the parable is that true spiritual values require complete dedication. Having found them, a person must make a choice to leave the old way of life and follow the truth. Application in life. Searching for the meaning of life, a person can spend many years searching for the meaning of his existence, trying different philosophical and religious directions. At some point he may realize that true happiness is not the accumulation of wealth, but spiritual development and helping others. Realizing this becomes a turning point, like a merchant finding his pearl. Accepting faith. Many people are far from spiritual life when they are young, but when faced with life's difficulties, they begin to seek God. One man, for example, lived for his career, but after severe trials he realized that money and success do not bring true satisfaction. He found his pearl in faith, changed his priorities, and began to live according to the commandments. Giving up vicious habits. A life filled with bad habits may seem comfortable, but over time leads to disappointment. Someone, realizing the value of a healthy life, gives up harmful addictions for a higher goal, preserving family, health, and peace of mind. Choosing in favor of family. In today's world, careerism often becomes more important than family. One man realized that his job was taking up all his time and his children were growing up without a father's involvement. He made the difficult choice to leave a prestigious position and devote himself to his family. This sacrifice paid off in the long run as his children grew up with love and attention. Helping others. Sometimes a person living only for himself or herself will at some point be faced with an opportunity to make a difference in someone else's life. For example, a doctor who gave up a high-paying private practice to work in a charity clinic. He realized that his true calling was to serve people, not to make money. Contemporary examples. The story of a businessman who gave up a multi-million-dollar fortune and retired to a monastery illustrates the meaning of the parable. He realized that peace of mind and closeness to God were more important than financial prosperity. Charity. Many billionaires, realizing the value of spiritual riches, give their fortune to charity. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, for example, give much of their money to help those in need. Choosing to create. An artist or writer who has left a stable job for art embodies the idea of finding their true pearl. They understand that material prosperity does not compare to the satisfaction of self-realization. Selfless doctors. Many medics choose the difficult path of working in hot spots despite the dangers. They dedicate themselves to saving lives, realizing that their true value is not money, but the opportunity to help people. Journalists who risk their careers to uncover the truth are like the merchant in the parable. They sacrifice comfort and security because the truth is more important to them than anything else. Psychological parsing. From the point of view of psychology, the parable teaches us to appreciate true rather than false values. Often people chase after material things but remain inwardly empty. This text raises important questions. What is truly important to me? Am I willing to sacrifice for a higher purpose? Am I chasing temporary pleasures, missing out on real happiness? The principle of the parable can be linked to Abraham Maslow's concept of self-actualization. The highest level of the pyramid of needs is to realize one's spiritual and creative abilities. People who find their pearl feel deep satisfaction and harmony. Conclusion. The parable of the precious pearl remains relevant at all times. Its meaning is that true values require sacrifice and conscious choice. It teaches us to see the difference between the temporary and the eternal, between the material and the spiritual. Every person in life faces a moment of choice. Perhaps someone now faces the question, to continue to live by inertia or to take a step towards a higher goal. To find your pearl means to find true happiness. It can be faith, love, vocation, self-development, or service to others. The main thing is to realize that everything else is worth sacrificing for the sake of true value. This is the only way to find true harmony and meaning in life. Dear listeners, thank you for the time spent together. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and write how you like this story. Click on the bell not to miss new videos, and see you soon.